Well, good morning guys and welcome back to the channel. Looks like we might get a nice sunrise this morning. Joining me today is the wonderful Mr. Gareth Danks. You want to just see him there in the background. So we're doing a bit of a hike today. Going to be taking some of the wonderful coastal scenery. We're hoping to get a sunrise shot here this morning. But as always with sunrise, you never really know what you're going to get until you get to the location. So this foreground down here has particularly caught my interest. So I'm going to take a bit of time, see if I can come up with something. And maybe shoot across the ocean there, see if we can come up with something decent. So, I'm in a bit of a cramped position just here, but I think I've got my shot set up. There's a few things that sparked my interest about this scene. These wonderful patterns in these rocks down here in the foreground. Got these veins sweeping down to this pristine sand that we've got here. Absolutely beautiful. Then we've got a couple of rocks dotted around here in the sand, and there's some lovely sweeping sand patterns that meander down to the edge of the water there, which are really nice. Probably something that I'm not so keen about in this shot is probably the expanse of sand that we've got here from my nearest foreground rocks to the rocks there, which is kind of a nothing area, so I'm hoping that's not going to be too distracting. Hopefully if we can get some decent colour in the sky, that might take the eye up into the sky and detract away from this mid-ground area, so that's what I'm hoping for. Can't get the tripod any lower than I've got now just because of where the rocks are situated, so I'm kind of at my limit in terms of where I can position the camera. So really I'm just praying that the sky lights up. So settings are pretty straightforward really. I've got circular polarizer on front of the camera. Now that is just allowing us to take the reflections off these rocks. They're reflecting the blue sky at the minute, so I wanted to just cut through that reflection just so it doesn't draw the eye down to the foreground too much. That works really well. It also adds a little bit of punch and saturation to the sky as well, which is also very nice. Currently the settings are half a second, f11 ISO 160. Just waiting for this sky now. Wow, that was completely unexpected. There's just a slither of light coming through the bottom of the cloud there. It was lighting the underside of the cloud. Looks absolutely beautiful, it really did. Hope it can come across well in the photograph because I was shooting straight into the light. But what it did do was cast shadows on my mid-ground. You know, the area I was talking about a little bit earlier where perhaps it was uninteresting. Well, actually the light was casting shadows onto this foreground area, which I think probably added to the image, definitely made it feel a little bit more dynamic. Hopefully, just add a little bit more interest to that area. So yeah, I was pretty pleased about that actually. So yeah, I'm just going to have a little look around, see if I can find anything else down here this morning. What an absolutely stunning location this is. Looking right across the peninsula here. Absolutely beautiful. It's always nice, isn't it, when you've got land situated right opposite where you're shooting across the sea. So that's always nice as well. This looks great down here. Be interested to see.
I've had to go aperture priority because the light was changing so much, and that puts me in an uneasy mode.
You've got a reactor, haven't you? That's what it's all about.
And I'm not quick enough, so I'm going to let the camera do it.
See right now. Wow, that's what it's there for, isn't it?
Yeah, but there was an element of clipping on the white foam, weren't there? So the dynamic range at one point was absolutely mental because of how bright that sun was. But we can go home now. I think I've done it. I've got a shot. One.
We don't need anything else.
I needed to get a shot from Pembrokeshire today, and I've got it.
So Gareth's having a whale of a time down there. looks like he's got something really good. So if you fancy checking out Gareth's images from today, please be sure to check out his video as well over on his channel. And if you haven't subscribed to his channel already, please be sure to do so. He's got some wonderful landscape photography and street photography content over there. But you probably already know because you probably already watch his channel anyway. But yeah, please be sure to go and check him out. I might see if I can get maybe a shot of the water swirling around these rocks here in the foreground while we're here, because the light's still really good, and yeah, why not? The shot I've got set up here is really simple. I'm just trying to incorporate these rocks I've got here in the foreground, the same rocks that we shot earlier, but obviously I'm a lot closer to them now, maybe only a metre or so away. The tide's coming in a little bit, so it's swirling around these rocks here, creating various patterns as it comes in and then recedes. And essentially what I'm doing, I've got a 3-stop filter on, which is giving me half a second exposure, so I'm just dragging that out a little bit just to create a little bit of movement within the motion of the water as it wraps around these rocks. So really simple, f11 ISO 160, focusing on the rocks. Yeah, what a morning. So far the walk's been absolutely spectacular, really nice. Such a wonderful rugged part of the coastline. This particular beach we're on right now is called Westdale Bay, and it's absolutely beautiful. This wonderful rocky outcrops we've got here jutting out of the sea. It's all red stone as well, which is pretty cool. Definitely contrasts well with a green ocean, so it's yeah, certainly pleasing to the eye. I did take a shot quickly before we came down here for a spot of lunch, just looking up the coast there. Pop that image up on the screen for you to take a look at. The light was okay, but there was no detail in the sky, but I did quite like the run of the water, how the waves were coming in, crashing around the coastline. So I think that was something, maybe something I can come back to anyway. Certainly a worthwhile scouting image. Yeah, we're going to continue our walk. I think it's about 2 or so o'clock in the afternoon now. We'll continue our walk up the coast, heading towards Marloes, and hopefully we're going to get a break in the cloud, because right now things don't look great. So it'd be really nice to be able to get some light this evening. But as with landscape photography, you never really know what you're going to get. Like this morning, for example, didn't think we were going to get any light, then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, spectacular light all around us. So you never really know what you're going to get, but we're going to make the best of the conditions and see what we can come up with. What a cracking walk that was. Really, really enjoyable coming down this wonderful part of the coastline. And we have eventually ended up at Marloes beach, which is an absolutely amazing place. So many different rock formations. You could spend a year photographing this place and probably come out with a different composition every single day. It's absolutely incredible. Today I've chosen to shoot this small rock formation here in this pool that we've got situated just down here in front of us. And right now the light is splaying down from the clouds, creating these wonderful shafts of light. It looks really cool. Compositionally, it's a bit of a challenge, and I've played around with it probably for about 15 or 20 minutes, just trying to align my foreground with the sky. We've got this wonderful sweeping pool which drifts off down towards the coast, which looks absolutely amazing. And we've got the polarizer on the front of the camera as well, and that's allowing us to see through the ripples in the water. We can see some of these rock details in the water as well. And that all helps to point us out towards the sea. Now the good thing about shooting this is I can sit here for the next hour if I wanted to, and I'm not going to lose any difference in the height of this pool, whereas if I was shooting right down by the sea, obviously as the tide recedes, I'm going to have to keep recomposing my shot. But here I'm good for the next half an hour as the sun settles down into the horizon. So yeah, I'm liking it on the back of the camera. Compositionally I think it works quite well, especially where the light is situated right now. I think maybe as the light swings around, as it dips down, it might become more central, and then the composition might not work quite so well. Settings wise, like I mentioned, I've got the circular polarizer on the front of the camera. That's helping to cut through the reflections in the water. I've also an f11 focusing on these rocks here. That's getting everything nice and sharp. 30th of a second ISO 160. I might experiment with a 6-stop just to smooth the ripples out in this foreground to see what that does to the image. So before I go, guys, please be sure to check out Gareth's channel if you haven't done so already, and give him some love. I'm sure you'll enjoy his content over there. And also, after my image, there will be the 10 challenge winners from the Photographers Clubhouse monthly challenge from January, which was panoramas. So yeah, please check those out too. So guys, until next time, take care, and I will see you soon.